right, Rick, let's hit my top 5 rookies, and I'll read them out here since we're pressed for time. I'll go 5 to 1, and then we'll go through them quickly here. Number 5, Deonte Banks, cornerback for the Giants. Man, they should have won that game in Buffalo. Devon Witherspoon at number 4. And these guys were all really close. If you're going to press me on that, Devon Witherspoon playing a lot more slot now for Seattle. Started outside, and now that he's healthy, they're moving him everywhere, and he's just lighting people up in that game against the Bengals. That was a fun game to watch. Zay Flowers bounced back from that not so great performance against the Steelers. Had 6 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown for the Ravens at number 3. And number 2, Michael Mayer. They're finally using him in Las Vegas. He's becoming a bigger part of the offense. I forgot, and this is on me. This dude is a really good athlete. Like, he moves well in space. He's not just some inline plotter. Rick's making a face. You can talk about that in a second. And number 1, my guy, your guy, Bryce Young. And you can put CJ there, but I'm giving Bryce a little love because we haven't talked a lot about him except for in bad terms in recent weeks. So I want to give him a shout out for his performance, even though they got the doors blown off against a really high-powered Dolphins team. So take it away, Rick.
Yeah, no, Banks is a very good man cover guy. He's not as good when he's in off. Made a great play on Diggs when they scrambled, and then he plastered Diggs when Josh Allen got outside the pocket.
And didn't DPI it. Just he was very patient.
No, and he is a physical corner. Now he's going to get his hands on you, and he's going to. There are a couple questionable why they didn't call defensive penalties on him, but he's not going to back down, which is fun to see. And Witherspoon continues to impress me every time he gets on the field. On whether he's blitzing, whether he's knifed off the edge on a run support and threw his bag of bones into the pile and made a nice tackle. Gets his hands on balls down the field. Great close on some underneath routes.
On the first pass play, I think he blitzed off the from the slot and had to knock the pass down.
Yeah, that was one of his 3 PBUs. So he is playing very good, and I'm not going to say he's going to get in defensive rookie of the year conversations yet, but I would be creeping him up the whatever the plus 250 if I want to.
Wait a second. What do you mean you wouldn't put him in the conversation yet? Because of Jalen Carter, or because of?
I would put him in that. I don't think he's Jalen Carter yet.
Yeah.
But I do think that he needs to be starting to get talked about if he continues to play at the same time playing. Zay Flowers seems to be the go-to guy right now for Lamar. And there's no question about his twitch, and great job adjusting a route on his touchdown. Also caught a 2-point conversion. London seems to be his cup of tea, as we like to say over there.
You love that one, didn't you? Hey, let me ask you something. So the drops last week, the whole team couldn't catch football. Do you not even talk about it? Like, it was so random, not something that was in his past, or you just move on? Like, how do you deal with that?
He didn't have a drop this game. So whatever reason they were dropping the ball, it was just one of those days. I mean, why do you want to keep harping on a negative? Why don't you just say, hey, that was
I want to make everyone better. I just have questions.
Okay, well, by making everybody better, okay. If it continues 5 games from now, then we got an issue. But hey, move on. It was a bad game. Let's go.
Hey, Rick, if you can't see it, there's a 1 in front of the 91. So
positive reinforcement. Negative. I don't. It's hard to figure you out. You got 250 guys in your top 50. You got 200 guys in your first round mock, and yet you want to kill Zay Flowers because he had drops last year.
And Caleb and Drake, they're not going in the first round either.
Yeah, and Caleb and Drake are in the 5th round. Boy, you're hard to figure out on this podcast.
All right, well, try to figure it. Oh, go ahead.
Mayor. So he's only had, I went back and looked, 12 targets and through these first games, and 6 of them came in this game. He needs to be more involved in the offense. He is not a unique athlete for the position, but what we saw in college, you saw in this game, his ability to catch the ball. I really was impressed, not with his athleticism as a runner after the catch, but he runs hard and he can make a sidestep, but he's not. He does things that showed up and why he was selected where he was selected. And a lot of things you've seen at Notre Dame, you've seen here. And he was very good in pass pro. I went back and watched some of his pass pro reps. He needs to get more consistent as an inline run blocker because we labeled him the most complete Y type tight end coming out in this year's draft that can do a lot of things good. and I think he's going to continue to get better. But he's never going to be a complete mismatch guy, like a Kyle Pitts or
Oh,
a
good. No, no. But
Mike
I
Bauer
mean,
or someone like that. But he is going to be a very solid tight end.
you talked about it just a moment ago in the move, the ball he caught in space there, and then he juked the defender and cut inside. That's some athleticism that I sort of had forgotten about when he's at Notre Dame.
Yeah, but it was a nice little subtle sidestep juke move, and then he plows forward and runs through about 2 or 3 guys
Yeah.
to get extra yards after contact. That's the type of tight end. It's a very good tight end. I think he's going to be a good tight end in this league.
Let me ask you this: if he's playing in the slot and you line Devon Witherspoon up
No,
on him
not
10
getting
times, who you taking?
well, I'm taking Witherspoon, but the only thing that showed up in Mayer's college tape is that I thought he had some unique skills in contested situations
Okay.
and has very good hands in contested situations.
Okay. So that'd be a good matchup. All right. And we talked about Bryce. You want to give Bryce any more love, or you're all
Good.
loved out on Bryce?
Keep going that way.
Keep going that way. And
It'll be
if
interesting to see with Brown, the play caller, if he does things differently with Bryce.
yeah, so Thomas came over from LA with Sean McVay, and we'll see if that has any impact on what they do. We just talked about
Was
what.
actually in Indy with Frank Reich, and Irsay made him fire him.
Wait, say that part again. What'd you say?
He was in as the OC with Frank Reich with the Indianapolis Colts, and before Frank Reich got fired, 3 weeks before that, the Irsay made Frank Reich fire Thomas Brown.
Oh God, I didn't know that was Thomas. Oh my goodness. All right. Interesting. Well, let's hope David Tepper and Mr. Irsay aren't talking on the phone about anything, and the Panthers can get this thing turned around. Because I would like to see them get a win. Bryce continue to play well. If you want to put CJ in the top 5 there, number 1, go ahead. If that makes you feel better. I just wanted to give Bryce some love to make that clear.